Hi, I'm Benton's dad, aka Alan, and I'm with a special guest. You can introduce yourself.
TB's TTM autographs, also known as Tony Black.
And this is a video response for the Bruhaha, the fourth year Bruhaha
4 years.
4 year anniversary on YouTube, correct? For
Yes.
Cardboard Chaos, Ranger Studios, Four Leaf Cards, and TB's TTM autographs, correct?
Yes, we've all
All
been
right.
here for 4 years, believe it or not.
Yeah, I've been TTMing for about 4 years, but I didn't officially join the officially in quotes join the community until I started making videos. It's 2019, so it has been about 4 years.
Yeah, I started my TTMs in 2019, and I know in pre-show chatter here we were discussing some of our autographs and stuff like that
Yeah,
we've gotten, but so we're here to discuss cards that we have in common.
yeah, cards that players who have Royal Cub connections.
Yes.
The first one that comes to mind for me, and we've already talked about this, and I'm just going to mention him and we'll move on, is Ben Zobrist.
Yep.
Um, he played 57 games for the Royals in 2015 and helped them win their first world championship in 30 years. Then the following season, he was with the Cubs and he helped them win their first world championship in 108 years. So he helped end the droughts for both our teams.
I will take that, the memories of the 108 years and the World Series in 2016 forever. I was there for games 2 and 6, and it was special.
Wow, yeah, the first my son was born in 2014 and the Royals reached the World Series. They lost to the Giants in 7, and then in 2015 they won the World Series. So for his first 2 years of his life, the Royals were, on top of the world.
Yeah, and believe it or not, I couldn't find any Ben Zobrist cards. I know I have them, but because I had moved recently, I couldn't get to my Cubs cards, and that's what I know I have them in. But then couldn't find them in either a Rays or a Royals uniform card.
Well,
Um,
he definitely merits a mention as
but
a player with Royals Cub connections.
but
But
in 2016, I was taking pictures at the Nats Cubs game in DC, and he hit a leadoff homer in that game. So I got a picture of him between second and third base trotting home.
I knew I'd get a call when we were doing this. Nobody ever calls me unless I'm doing something. Okay. Yeah, the next guy I pulled here, and I've got mine in alphabetical order, is Billy Buckner.
I did not know he played for the Royals.
Billy Buckner played for the Royals in 1988 and 89. I sent him this card, TTM, and I didn't include a donation, but he sent it back with this note that I'll always cherish. It says, "Autographs are $10. Thanks." So I sent it back out, and he returned it signed. I love this card because of the big. You can see the tarp roll in the background between his legs, and you know what he's most noted for.
Right.
Yeah,
The space at 1986 World Series.
and I thought that, it's commendable the way he eventually just owned that.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry to see him pass at the ripe young age of 69. But that's my first one.
Yeah, mine is Brian McRae.
Aha! I can match you. I can match you. I pulled
1993 Upper
I
Deck.
pulled B Mac myself. Yeah, it's pinnacle.
Played for the Cubs. I want to say was right after the strike, and
Right.
right after the strike. So it was 94 to about 97. I think he played.
95 to 97 is what I've got written down.
Yep.
And he was with the Royals for the 5 years previous to that.
And then he finished his career with the Mets.
So we matched on B Mac. Okay, my next card is one I know you have because we've talked about him, and it's Eric Hosmer.
Yes. Don't have his autograph, but there he is on his rookie card. I got 2 of his rookie cards there, his debut and
Yeah. Well, he is. I think he's the latest player with a Cub Cardinal connection. He's played what, 9 games?
Not the Cardinals. not
Did I
that.
say Cardinals? Did I
Yeah,
say Cardinals?
you did.
Cubs Royals connection. You don't have to edit that out, Tony. I don't mind appearing. I don't mind looking like an idiot. But in 9 games with the Cubs this season, he's hitting over 300. So Haas is doing the job.
Yeah, to start the year, he was kind of slumping. I don't think he had a hit in his like first few at bats or something like that, and people were questioning his defense. He didn't look good in spring training, and they're like, "Oh, get rid of him," and because San
Yeah.
Diego's still paying most of his salary, and it's like he's coming on strong.
Well, Haas is a great guy. I saw his first in person. I saw his first hit and his first RBI, and I've got scorecards he signed from both of those games. So I mean, he was very accessible, especially early on. All right, who you got next?
Jorge Soler.
Oh, Jorge Soler. Yeah, I forgot about him. I have a card signed by Jorge Soler, who won a home run championship.
He did. He won a World Series championship with the Cubs in 2016, and then was shipped to the Royals for the pitcher, one of the pitchers that I got here pulled aside. And
Yeah,
he then kind of struggled with the Cubs, kind of lost in space with the Cubs, and then he got shipped to the Royals, led the AL in homers, won a World Series MVP with the Braves.
yeah. I forgot all about Jorge Soler. Okay, my next player is Danny Jackson.
Oh, Danny Jackson. Oh,
Danny Jackson was 5-14 in 2 years with the Cubs. 5-14, but he was a
awful. I remember him with the
Yeah.
Cubs. I forgot he played with the Royals. I remember him mostly with the Reds.
He was a sub 500 pitcher. His career was 112 and 131. So he was 37-49 with the Royals, but he won 2 critical games for the Royals in the 85 in postseason, in the ALCS and in the World Series. So he's a hero in my book.
One that you probably don't think about because he only played about 26 games with the Cubs. Terry Shumpert.
Yeah, no, I did not. I wasn't aware of that. Shumpert had a Cub connection.
Very short. It was like 95 or 96, I believe. Very short career with the Cubs.
Yeah, he was like the Royals were in transition after the World Championship in '85, and he was one of the players that came along in the '90s till they kind of got good again, but it took them a while.
Yeah, I went to several Royals games. I lived in the Kansas City area for a short bit and went to several Royals games and sat in the high V seats a lot because they were only $5 at the time.
Right.
Or you could actually get my first Royals game was against the A's in 2004, and it's like lower level seats just underneath the upper deck, and they were like less than $20.
Yeah, you can't even get a beer there for $20 now.
Great
Okay,
stadium.
my next guy, it made a pit stop in Chicago, and he had it lasted a couple of years in KC. Jason Kendall.
Oh.
This is a Cubs card, even. Let's see. What
Again,
did he play?
didn't even realize he played with the Royals.
57 games for the Cubs in 2007. And then he played for he retired with the Royals a couple of years in 2010.
Obviously, he's mostly known for his days with Pittsburgh.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. But he's one of those guys that when he comes into the stadium, he's always pretending to be on his phone so he doesn't have to interact with fans. But he stopped and signed a couple of times, so I was okay with that.
All right, the guy that Jorge Soler was traded for, Wade Davis.
The waiter, yeah, I forgot about him too.
He played, I think, just 2017 with the Cubs.
He was a key piece of the Royals championship squad.
So yeah, he was a closer. Yep, close for the Cubs in 2017, and I don't think he played 2018 with the Cubs.
Forgot all about Wade. Next guy I know is somebody that you probably miss, and that's Dale Swain.
Oh, not one bit.
Who was the Cubs manager for a couple of ill-fated seasons.
Well,
He was
they were in transition when he was the manager, so you can't fault.
2012 and 13.
They were awful in 12 and 13. That is
Yeah,
forgotten.
but then the next year he joined the Royals coaching staff, and he was their hitting instructor or hitting coach through the championship, the championship years, and he finally left with Ned Yost in 2019.
Okay, I wasn't sure if he had stuck around with Matheny or not.
No, but he, like I said, he was there for the 2 World Series appearances.
Okay.
So that's another guy that might surprise some people.
He was, he's kind of responsible for the building of Starlin Castro and Anthony Rizzo. Starlin, I think he's done with baseball, but if I remember right, I haven't looked at his baseball reference page in a while, but I think he was around 2,000 hits.
Yeah, he was pretty decent.
Yeah, he was a good player, and then obviously Rizzo's still playing with that New York American League team. Just in case Eddie's watching this,
Just in case Eddie, yeah.
Yeah. We don't want to put a quarter in the jar.
Well, I saved. Is it your turn? It's your turn.
Yeah, I didn't actually. That was all the cards I pulled. So
Well, I saved what I consider the best for last. This gentleman probably needs no introduction. Buck O'Neill.
oh,
He was, as you're probably aware of, in 1962, he became the first Black coach in Major League Baseball history with the Chicago Cubs. And he was a scout for the Royals from 1988 to 1998.
the Buck O'Neill seat in Kaufman.
Yeah. And then he was a fixture at Kauffman Stadium until his death in 2006. But I thought I would wrap it up with Buck O'Neill.
I ran into him once, but I didn't have anything for him to sign. So I said hello to him, and that was all my conversation that I had with Buck O'Neill. I didn't have a baseball. I didn't have any cards of Buck O'Neill. I didn't have.
Well, that was probably the shortest conversation in Buck O'Neill's life because he loved people. He loved talking to people.
Yeah, that's one of my things that I regret, not at least trying to find a baseball somewhere, and because I knew I was going to meet him and run into him.
Oh,
I just, it's not like I didn't know it, but I just, it's like, oh yeah, I'll see him again, whatever. But that's
well,
all
Tony,
me.
this caps off the perfect day for me. I got to share West Side Story with my theater students this morning. We had an Olympic champion on campus this afternoon, and I'm going to reveal who that was in my video on Sunday. And then I get to talk to you about the Cubs and the Royals. It doesn't get any better than that until I get home and get to hug my son and hear him call me dad.
Well, that works. I'm actually gonna go to a comedy show tonight, and hopefully the comedians are funny, and
well, they've got to be funnier than we were.
I don't know. But Alan, this was great. Thank you for participating in our contest, our 4-year Bruhaha. And it's been a lot of fun to do this and talk baseball. I love talking baseball with anybody.
Thanks for hanging out with an old guy.
Well, I'm in my 40s, so I'm right there with you.
I want to wish you peace, love, and understanding.
All right. Have a good one, everybody.